Hello and welcome to Capping Corner. Today we're going to talk about the Fairgrounds Oaks, briefly, and then we're going to talk about the Louisiana Derby, another Derby prep race, and they're both on Saturday at Fairgrounds. So let's get started. Let's talk about the Fairgrounds Oaks. I mean, it's not the best betting race, but we're going to talk about the favorite, and I'm going to give some alternatives. So let's go. We start off with Good Cheer in the Fairgrounds Oaks, and almost certainly she'll be even money or less. And why not? She's undefeated. She comes off a strong race in the Rachel Alexandra, as she won that race by 6 1/4 lengths. Let's take a look at that race. Here we go. We catch them entering the stretch, and Good Cheer is right behind horses in the white blinkers. And we've talked about this race before. She pushes her way through, and then she comes up beside Goel's Delight, and then she's going to pass her. Well, it's taking her a second or two, but she's going to pass her. And then once she passes her, she really opens up on them. And the only problem I have, I guess, is that she doesn't win by fast times, or she doesn't earn fast speed figures. I mean, on Breeze she earned, an 89. And I know 89 is maybe one of the best in this race, maybe the best figure, I'm not sure. Highest last speed rating. But, I mean, it's not a scary speed figure, if that makes sense. However, you have to respect the fact that she keeps winning. And she is my top choice in this race. I have no real desire to play against her, but I'm going to present some alternatives for those who do want to beat her, and maybe you can come to your own conclusion. The second filly I want to talk about is Her Laugh. Her Laugh had a bad start in the Suncoast Stakes at Tampa Bay Downs, but she recovered enough to finish second. Let's take a look at the start and see what happened to her. Her Laugh is number 4, and you see at the start she was up in the air. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but she was up in the air. And she's last now, and she's 3 or 4 lengths behind the number 7 filly, and she's just going to trail the field around the first turn. She does save ground at least, but she trails the field. And remember, in that Fairgrounds race that she won, she was a pace setter, so this was probably an unusual position for her. But again, she did recover enough to finish second, and that's a good sign, and I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I still think Good Cheer will win, but if you're searching for an alternative, maybe she's one to think about, or at least an underneath horse, maybe she could finish second. Let's talk about one more filly. I want to give Ahava a chance to wire this field. She broke her maiden at Fairgrounds in a 6 furlong sprint, and she was a pace setter in that race. And in this spot, I don't think there's a lot of speed. I think it'll be a moderate pace at best. But the only problem is I don't like her pedigree for going long. This is a half-sister to Vava, and if you know Vava, she's a very good 7 furlong type of filly. Can this filly go a mile 1/16 after just one maiden race at 6 furlongs? I don't know, but I think the pace will be just right for her. I don't want to completely discount her chances. Again, I like Good Cheer better, but this filly is not without a shot. Good Cheer is still my top pick. I just wanted to present 2 other options in case people wanted to hear them, but Good Cheer, I don't think she's going to lose, and I have no real desire to play against her, even if those other 2 fillies have a small chance. I'll say that Her Laugh would be my second choice, Ahava would be my third choice, and they do have small chances to win, but I still think Good Cheer will win, and I'm just going to pass on this race and say Good Cheer is going to win the Fairgrounds Oaks. Now we're talking about the Louisiana Derby, and we start off with the morning line favorite at 4-1, Built. Built was third in the Risen Star Stakes, and I want to give him some credit for that move he made on the far turn when he was trying to catch up with Magnitude. Let's take a look at the race and see what he did. Built is the one with the white shadow roll, and he's moving up to Magnitude right now as they round the far turn. Magnitude ran out of his mind in this race. The fractions were fast, 23 and change, 46, 110 and change, and Built was right there. Built was right there almost next to Magnitude, and then he started to fade away in the stretch run, and you see Built getting tired right now, fading back into the pack. But I want to give him some credit though for that move he made. Sometimes when a horse tries to catch up with a horse that isn't going to stop, it mentally discourages that horse that was trying to close in, and Built was trying to close in to Magnitude, but Magnitude was never going to stop, and so once Magnitude never stopped, I think it discouraged Built, and maybe he faded more than he would have. Built has a good chance in this race, but we're going to talk about the other contenders too. Caldera is 5-1 on the morning line, and he's the My Racehorse Lucas entry, and I'm impressed with the way he ran in the Sunland Park Derby. So let's take a look at the race. Caldera is in second right now, Getaway Car is on the lead, and Getaway Car had that uncontested lead for most of the race. For most of the race, Getaway Car was very comfortable, and it's only now, with Caldera right on him, that it's a real horse race now, and they're separating from the field. And Caldera is trying hard, but Getaway Car is matching him, and Getaway Car is going to get up. But I'm still impressed with the way Caldera ran. Remember, before this race, Caldera had no stakes experience. And here he was going toe-to-toe with the horse that ran second in the Los Alamitos Futurity, the horse that ran fourth in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And I know that Getaway Car did not run well in the Virginia Derby, but I could forgive that because of the fast pace. Caldera is another contender in the Louisiana Derby. I want to talk about a third contender. His name is Tistastic, and he was only fifth in the Rebel Stakes. He was third in the Southwest Stakes. But he's the type of horse that keeps running along evenly. He doesn't have any final stretch punch. He just keeps going along. He keeps staying in the picture. Let's take a look at the Rebel Stakes and see what he did. Tistastic is the one with the long blaze. He's in mid-pack right now. The jockey's wearing purple. And you see him going for the inside right now. So Tistastic is on the inside. But he's not accelerating. He's just staying in the picture. And you can see that Sandman passed him. And I think that's Publisher that passed him as well. But Tistastic is still in the picture. He's still right next to the Oaklawn logo. And he just keeps going along at the same pace. And I point that out because this is the longest Derby prep at a mile 3/16. And I think that if he keeps going along, a lot of horses are going to get tired, and maybe he's going to pass a lot of them. And so I give him a chance to grind his way to the lead, depending on whether or not these horses handle the distance. And I do think he has a great chance to finish on the board, and he has a decent chance to win. So I want to say he's a win contender as well. He's my third choice in this race, but he is a win contender. Let's talk about an underneath horse, Chunk of Gold. I want to recognize him for finishing second in the Risen Star Stakes. With that said, I think he's the type of horse that only plods along for second or third or fourth. I don't think he's a win contender. He just passes tired horses in the stretch run. And he needs a fast pace to help him. I do think he will get a fast pace in this race. But I don't know if he's good enough to win. I think he took advantage of the pace in the Risen Star. And if he hits the board again in this spot, the Louisiana Derby, I think it'll be a fast pace that helps him. I have to think one or two horses will be ahead of him at the end. Let's talk about Vezimo briefly. I want to give him some credit for running out close to the pace in the Risen Star. In the first quarter, he was only 3.5 lengths off the pace, and we already acknowledged that it was a fast pace, 46 and change for the half, 110 and change for the 6 furlong point. And I know he faded at the end, 12 lengths behind, but still, that was a tough race, and maybe he's going to improve off that race and maybe do enough to hit the board. So I want to give Vezimo a chance, maybe for third or fourth. Let's move on. For a long time, I went back and forth on instant replay, because he won on this course by 5 lengths at the same distance, and he had a nice breeze figure, 93, that is competitive in this spot. But I don't know who he beat in that race. I mean, Frio, Handsome Pants, I don't know who he beat, and this will be a different type of field. I also think he got a setup in that race, because the fractions were 23 and change, 46 and change for the half, and he was 8.5 lengths behind at the first call. But I want to acknowledge that he has a chance to hit the board. He's not going to make my top 4, but he is a contender for maybe third or fourth. Finally, let's talk about John Hancock, the winner of the Sam F. Davis Stakes at Tampa Bay Downs. I don't know how good he is. I know he received a 97 on Breeze, but my mind doesn't believe it, even though it's one of the highest figures in the race, the highest last speed rating, my mind doesn't believe it. He won by half length over Owen Almighty, and Owen Almighty did win a Tampa Bay Derby, but he had a dream trip in that race. He had an easy lead, moderate fractions, and I don't know how good Owen Almighty is. I don't think he's even trying the Kentucky Derby. And Poster, the third place finisher in the Sam F. Davis Stakes, I don't think he would crack the top 10 if he tried the Kentucky Derby. So I don't know how good John Hancock is. I think he's going to receive pace pressure from Furio and Yinzer in this race. Maybe that'll be enough to take him out of the top 4. He's not for me. Caldera is my top pick in the Louisiana Derby, and it's a tough race. I think that Bilt has a chance to win too, Tistastic has a chance to grind them to win, and the underneath horses, Chunk of Gold, Basimo, Instant Replay. It's a tough race, but my top three: Caldera, Built, and Tistastic. And thanks for listening to my analysis for the Fairgrounds Oaks and Louisiana Derby. And I'll be back soon with another video covering a Derby prep race.